try. Alright, well, we'll see if this works, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying some experiments out here today. Just don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm hoping so, but until we actually get moving and going, won't know for sure. Need to put this in my pocket though, so it doesn't distract the view, the lovely view of our 4H area. But anyway, let's get going and get into the subject of today's video.
This is the way.
It's foggy. It's so foggy in here. I see fog people. Oh, yeah. So, lift this up for now. Let's get to strolling before we lose all our sunlight. So, what I'm trying to do today is to see if, as a motovlogger, if we can do less with more. Or, reverse that, more with less. So what we are doing here today for my little experiment is we have my new Ruroc Atlas Carbon.
Because I'm beautiful, baby.
And for the audio, what we are doing is we are running the Shockwave Bluetooth communicator. I have it connected to my iPhone via the Bluetooth, obviously. And through that, I am on my voice recorder or voice memos app. But what I'm really trying to see is how far away from a lot of technology can I get to go out for a simple ride. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't always like having a bajillion cameras around, microphone cabling around. I sometimes, what you're seeing, like, nothing. You're not seeing anything here today because I'm operating with just one camera. But the point I'm trying to make is, I don't always want to have all that bulk with me. I mean, I'm always going to have my phone with me. But if the only other thing I need to have with me is an arm mount and my camera, which I can keep in my pocket or backpack or what have you, well, then I am kind of tempted just to kind of go that way. Because, a lot of times I just want to ride the ride. But sometimes you kind of miss out on some stuff if you don't have your camera with you. And that's why today I wanted to see, can I do this on a minimalist approach? So you saw that video of me in the garage earlier where I was maybe putting air in the tires. I'm hoping that came through. All I did was I turned the 360 camera on, and that's what snagged those angles. That's also what is snagging every single shot that you're seeing here on this motovlog. Now I could get creative like my other motovlogs and stick that 360 way out there, but this is more, I wanted to do a traditional-ish motovlog where it was at me and me going forward. So I already could tell for the at me section, you're going to see my belly. So I do apologize in advance if that's where your eyes are drawn to. I'm going to try and get the crop up a little bit higher, so maybe it starts like right here and you can see a whole bunch of blue sky behind me. But we'll have to see on that. And then as far as the toward video, the point of view camera here, that is actually going to be a little bit further forward than you're used to seeing. So you're not going to see my hands on the handlebars, unfortunately.
I'll beg to differ, sir.
Just due to the fact that I can't get that wide of a shot. Now I could bring the camera back a little bit, but when I do that, it gets too close to me. So you're gonna have to, take some, what would be the right word? You'd have to make some sacrifices doing a one camera setup, I guess you could say. But that's okay. Again, I'm trying to do this on a minimalist approach because if you think about it, a lot of us run Bluetooth communicators in our helmets already. This could really be a nice trick to allow a lot of people who aren't into motovlogging but maybe would want to try it out to get in it for really the cost of a simple camera. Now, you don't need to go out and buy a $500 360 camera to do this. You can just go buy a couple-year-old GoPro Hero 7 and run that on your handlebars. and get some mounts that you could go ring, and so you could turn around at your will, you could definitely do that as well. I'm using the 360 again for ease purposes more than anything. So let's go and take a left here. I'm taking a left here. I might be so late picking up the kids today. Sorry, hon. Into the sun we go. But I wanted to test and see how that 360 actually does with these kind of harsh sunlights, because it's harsh on one side but not on the other side. So I'll be very curious to see how the 360 actually compensates for it. But don't you guys ever just get to the point of, with photo vlogging especially, you just get kind of tired of lugging all that stuff around? And again, that's really what I'm trying to do. Is this a capable means of doing it? So again, I'm running the audio through my Shockwave system, which I also have a Sena unit on my Shoei helmet, and I plan to do the same sort of test off of that, just because I'm very curious if the Sena will connect and do the same thing. So we're doing this test, and I'm doing it on the minimalist approach, but I'm doing it because a while back I talked about, that creative funk and trying to come up with new content. When I looked for things of this nature, I didn't really see much out there, so it kind of gave me a creative spark. How could I finagle a moto vlog that has multiple cameras, great angles, can keep the eye candy going, but do it from a very minimalist approach? And if everything works the way it's supposed to, this should be awesome, hopefully. I do apologize, you're seeing the video clip from clip to clip here. I have a very nagging cough going on right now, so those are being edited out in favor of your eardrums. I'm just curious what you guys think. Is the audio sound good? Now, if the audio is complete trash, you're not even ever going to see this video, and I'm just talking to myself, which, hey, sometimes you need your own best friend. I'm a dog.
I'm a moth. Half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
I really am just trying to try out new things. There's so much technology out there, and when you can take that technology and simplify it down for everybody to use, it's really I feel like it's a great idea. Alright, so the next thing I want to kind of talk about though, and this is going to be the detriment of doing this on my simplistic approach anyway, at least the way that I have it set up with the 360 camera, is going to be my video quality. So what I mean by my video quality is the 360 camera will shoot in a 5.7K. That's 5.7K for everything. So the entire image front and back is 5.7K. The best image that you can really get out of like a stationary camera with it is really going to be exported at 1080p. And when I'm used to editing at 4K and 4K 60, for example, which we'll get into the frame rates here in a second anyway, but when you're now limited to 1080p and basically 24 frames per second, I know the image quality on a TV screen isn't going to look as good, but according to my analytics, most everybody is watching my videos on their phone or tablet. And I think, given what those resolutions are on most tablets and the fact that they're so small, it should hopefully compact those pixels really close together, and you might not see too much of a loss of quality. And who knows how much YouTube is going to degrade the video quality once it actually gets uploaded as well.
You have no idea what loss is.
But time will tell with that. Now the other thing I just hinted on though was the 60 frames per second that I'm used to filming in. Now I was for a long time, and it kind of just depends on my mood, but for a long time I was filming at 24 frames per second because it gives you kind of a realistic motion blur. And that is all fine and dandy when all your footage is 24 frames per second. But as you have seen in some of my last videos where I have mixed the 4K 60 and then the 360 camera footage, that's where you can see the major loss of quality. The image just isn't as sharp and it looks juddery in a comparison. Now, if I was to just have all three of my cameras on those particular videos be 24 frames per second, might not notice that as much. You'll probably still notice the image quality ain't quite as sharp, but again, I'm watching stuff on my big giant ass monitor. I'm watching it on my TV. You know, I'm watching it on things that most people don't watch YouTube on. But with that being said, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this little impromptu video, if it actually came out. And as always, I will catch you on the next dark side, because this is the way. Chopperfett, see you on the next one. Later!